Greetings, my friend! Welcome to the fire. Some of my favorite things in TTRPGs is to see or hear when new players come into their own with a brilliant moment in game. How a new role player earned her wings. r/RPG glory stories posted by Senior Black. Now, this isn't necessarily my story. I was playing a barbarian in a sandbox campaign with a group that got together and broke up several times, but not for anything really dramatic or anything. It's just that life came up and from time to time we would stop playing and then later start up again, and so on and so forth. A few of us later got together again, and for the first time in quite a while, we got a new player, who we'll call Warlock, since that was the class that she's playing in this campaign. Our cast included DM, who was the DM, the Barbarian, me, Bard, Rogue, and Sorcerer, old friends and group veterans, the Warlock, new player and the true star of this story. We did a one-shot with the Warlock, and she understood the game mechanically, but she was not very good at RPing, which was fine, but I could tell that she wanted to join in with the rest of us, but didn't really know how and would often blend into the background. But we would do our best to ensure her that she was always welcome to join in. The one-shot was us tracking down a necromancer and taking him out before he could amass an army of zombies to take over a city. Easy peasy. The campaign took place in and around that city, where we would get paid from the local Adventurers Guild for taking the job in the one-shot, as well as other jobs in and around this massive city. Said city was built on top of a sunken dwarven mountain, so we played a lot of dungeon crawler games and dragged back out whatever treasures we could get our hands on. Over time, our Warlock made her presence known as something of an eccentric grump. She'd always make rude and sarcastic comments, but nothing too harmful towards the party, and didn't do anything against the party. Part of the campaign was also the social aspect. The DM had multiple NPCs for us to interact with, and one of them was the flower child hippie magic item shop owner called Misty Breeze, who was a half-elf. Think of the tallest woman you could think of, with golden hair, covered in flowers, and always surrounded by butterflies. The thing about Misty Breeze was that she didn't take the coin of the capitalist regime, as in the standard gold, silver, and copper coins. She only took payment in Electrum. Apparently, it's the payment of choice in circles of magic users. Those old dwarven crypts had chests of Electrum, so if we weren't converting it to gold, we were spending it in this shop for magic items, ranging from rings to wands and all sorts of other goodies, like my belt of giant strength or the rogue's cloak of invisibility. Out of all the NPCs, Misty Breeze was our closest confidant, and then for once, she had a quest for us. I think the only one of us who didn't really care for her was the Warlock, but it was always an RP, cause, you know, a grouchy goth mage doesn't really want to be around the hippie preppy. Nobody's happy all the time, the Warlock grumbled, before shuffling off, usually to the library. Another time, she would ask her, "Why do you have a diamond ring? What happened to the capitalist coin?" "Oh, like, I found this myself and just forged it into a ring." "Where do all these butterflies come from?" the Warlock would then question. "Oh, like, I'm one with nature and stuff, and, like, we druids were in touch with, like, all creatures under the sun, my sister." Misty Breeze would wave off our suspicious Warlock. One day, Misty Breeze asked us to go fetch a book within an old crypt that was just discovered. She offered us something none of us could refuse. A scroll, a revivify. Now, our party was significantly lacking in healers, and our bard was our healer, but he really wasn't built around the task and just sort of took it up on the side when we started doing longer dungeon crawls, and our potion supply would dwindle and dwindle quickly. Now, fast forward, we made our way through a crypt full of skeletons, undead bandits, and zombie darbies before we obtained this faded black tome. And then we hurried our asses back up to the surface. We made it back to Misty Breeze's shop, and I was ready to hand over this book. But our warlock was the one who kept it on her. And then she said, "First, let's see that scroll of Revivify." Misty Breeze shrugged, like, "Okay, sister, just wait here." She then shuffled into the back. Nobody thought much of it, but then the warlock turned to us. "We can't give her this book. I don't know what it is, but we can't." "Wait, what? Why?" the bard asked. "Guys, the diamond ring." "What about it?" the rogue would then shrug as she said, "It's just a ring." "It's a spell component," the warlock said. "And what spell uses a diamond?" "Revivify." "Okay, and?" the warlock questioned. "Druids don't get revivify," the warlock continued, "and the butterflies that surround her? Do you know what attracts butterflies?" "Flowers," the sorcerer said. He sounded quite confident. "Corpses." Once the warlock said that, we all grew silent. Something was very, very wrong. And then the DM spoke up. "Is this a conversation happening in character?" When we all confirmed that it was, that was when we all began to fall to our knees. These magic items that we were all buying from Misty Breeze? Cursed! Some homebrew curse to basically trap us. The only one of us that was not affected was the warlock, who never took magic items from the shop. And then cue Misty Breeze, walking back, her skin melting off like sludge, to reveal it was the necromancer from our one-shot, who somehow survived our confrontation. "I must thank you all," said the necromancer. "Your constant generosity has funded my research to reach lichdom." He then snapped his fingers as a trapdoor opened and skeletons appeared. "Now, hand over that book." Since we were level 6, our warlock was able to use her Misty Escape feature to get away, leaving our characters to, hopefully, be rescued later. And that's where our last session ended, to be picked up later. But despite it being a rather downer ending, we couldn't help but applaud the warlock. The DM was pretty surprised that she somehow managed to figure out his twist. In a week or two, due to real life stuff, we'll be playing again, and we're not at all sure what's going to happen or how the warlock's going to rescue us. But this was an amazing scene, and the warlock was super giddy when she found out that she was right to be suspicious about Misty Breeze. Kudos to the warlock. That was some damn fine sleuthing. And hopefully, in the next session, she'll come up with a plan to rescue the rest of the party. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And would you kindly follow the socials posted in the description below. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.